TIFU by outing myself as a Nazi sympathiser. Standard. This didn't happen today, but when I was a student studying World War II. I was reading Mein Kampf as part of a history project. If you've never read it, it's obviously utter bollocks, but it's a compelling piece of forceful writing. You can easily see how people who have prejudice towards foreigners and Jews, people who wholly believe the false premise that it starts from, could read it and be persuaded by the arguments that it makes. There's a reason that it formed the philosophical basis for Nazism and why it was banned for so long in so many countries. It was sitting on my desk and my history teacher, my favorite teacher as well, walked past and asked what I thought of it. I tried to explain what I've said here, that it's a powerful piece of writing and you can see how many otherwise intelligent people could have been conned by it. But I didn't say that. What I actually said was, Hitler makes really good points. It just makes so much sense. I've never seen someone's look so distressed in a classroom. He just put his hand on my shoulder and shook his head before walking away. Never looked at me the same again. It was decades ago and I still want to call the guy up and say I'm not a Nazi. I swear. I just can't express myself properly when put on the spot. TLD, or don't try and make nuanced political points if mouth brain don't work good. His writings really do appear compelling until you consider it critically and realize it's one fat fallacy sandwich layered just right for any layman. Hitler makes really good points. It just makes so much sense. What you said wasn't wrong though, and that's why so many people fell into it. He made a very good argument for a very, very bad mindset. It's something that we should teach in schools. That just because something makes sense, or because someone makes a good argument, that doesn't make them right. Reminds me of the comedy bit by Mike Birbiglia. When he was moving a mattress into an apartment building, a woman had walked out and held the door open. She commented, "I am not worried. A pervert or child molester will not have such a nice mattress." Mike. What I should have said was nothing. Instead I said, "You'd be surprised." Quote. Cringe. The idea that he spread fell on fertile soil. He didn't invent it. There was anti-Semitic resentment deep inside the populace all over Europe even before World War I. So yeah, he was good at what and how he did it. But not Messiah-like. I never read his book and I don't think I will. But I was always secretly amazed at his apparent ability to motivate and mobilize an entire country, turn it into an empire, and basically attack the whole world and come up a couple strategic decisions short of winning. Thank God he didn't succeed, but he caused more harm than any one person ever should be able to. I have read Mein Kampf as well, but just kept in mind that it was full of crap. Your teacher definitely could have used that as a super good teaching moment to help the entire class understand how TF Hitler managed to do what he did. I have a bookcase in my lounge where I have collected influential books of all different types. I started collecting while I was completing a history degree back in the early 1990s. My copy of Mein Kampf has raised a few eyebrows of visitors, dates, until I point out that I also have Mao's Little Red Book, all volumes of Marx's Capital, the collected works of Lenin, the Bible, the Koran, Origin of Species, Leviathan, The Prince, The Age of Reason, and lots of other apparently contradictory works. I know it's considered a misquote, but I still like it. It is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it. I had a similar thought when I read one of the intro Scientology books. It's designed beautifully to make just enough sense and be warm and inviting so that you're willing to look a little bit deeper. And lots of politicians use the same strategy until this day. Honestly, I agree with many people here saying that critical thinking should be taught at schools. Something might be well written and make sense, but it doesn't mean it's right. Hitler knew his audience. He was a smart politician. I am a firm believer we have to study and understand the past in order to get better as humans. We need to learn the mistakes and the traps so as a community we don't fall for it again. Edit. Because I press send before writing the rest. Lol. Can you tell us what you found compelling? More like TIFU by sounding like a Nazi. Oh lol, I did the same once. Was trying to make the point that he was one of the great people in history. Whether he went down a horrific path or not. His oratory ability to sway a whole country was quite impressive in the annals of history. It apparently didn't come out that way to the woman I was dating. Is Mein Kampf good? What are you talking about lol? The book is incoherent ramblings of a deluded man. It's not a powerful piece of writing. It's the delusional fantasy of a psychotic toxic narcissist as a literary work. It's tedious, endlessly tendentious, and incredibly dense for something allegedly designed to appeal to the masses. I've heard that in the original German it borders on incomprehensible at times. This was a book written by Hitler for Hitler. More than anything else. A complete exercise in bombastic self-fulfilling paranoid delusion. The lesson to be drawn here is that Hitler was not, as so many like to claim, a mixed bag of good and bad. A guy who built great highways but happened to kill some people too. Nothing about Hitler was good. He's an object lesson in what happens when absolute power is given to people with mundane and defective intellects. They try to remake the world in the diseased image they have of it. I've read Mein Kampf before. Hitler was a very charismatic writer and he knew how to really appeal to the populist mindset. Which is what makes his awful ideology so terrifying. This reminds me of the time we were discussing different forms of government on Discord and someone said, Hitler wasn't such a bad guy till his ego got the better of him. We stopped that convo right away and the user was banned.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.